Hey everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, I'm talking to the guys and gals who want to change their career, but they are in this dilemma. They want to change their career, but they're working full time. So if you want to change your career, it's mostly because you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you have a bigger potential, you kind of don't like what you're doing, and you kind of feel in a rut, right? And something else is calling your name. But when you start researching, hey, what can I go do? Can I go back to college to learn something? Can I go to trade school? Can I become a mechanic? Can I become a hairstylist? What are the different skills or different careers I want to go into? One of the hurdles that you might be coming across is going to be, but I'm working full time and I have full-time bills. How am I going to just stop working to go to school full time, right? One of the problems that a lot of these trade schools or colleges or other type of schools have out there is that in order for you to actually graduate from them or actually take their classes, they only offer classes Monday through Friday in like a 9 to 5 type of setting. And in that case, most people who are working full time cannot attend those classes. And they have a hard choice to make. Do I get a loan to kind of support myself? Do I get a family member to support me for a couple months to actually get myself going so I can quit my job and then have to work part-time just to pay some of the bills? Am I willing to go through all that sacrifice? It makes it super difficult. So in this video, we're going to give you some tips and tricks on what you should be thinking about on if you do have a full-time job and you want to change your career, how you can make it as easy and as smooth as possible so you don't have to put yourself in crazy debt and kind of have to crawl yourself out of it. We can actually work out a game plan together to make sure that you are successful no matter what you want to do. So the first step of actually changing your career while working a full-time job is going to be what career you actually want to get into, right? So there's pros and cons to many different careers, right? And the one thing, once you start picking a few different careers, the first thing that a lot of people say is, what are you interested in? Here at Driving Academy, we specialize in helping people change their career and becoming professional truck drivers or bus drivers. And people who are interested in that love driving, and they actually like traveling, and they like making a good amount of money, and they like the ability to kind of be on their own without being micromanaged by a boss. But if that's not you, fully okay, right? There's going to be people who love the beauty industry, so they want to become nail technicians, or they want to become beauticians or hairstylists or barbers or anything like that. There's people who love the culinary arts, so they want to become a chef. There's people who want to go into marketing, so they decide to go back into college or get a degree. There's people who like videos and they kind of go into a course like that. So depending on which way you want to go, it is super important to be very clear on the ultimate goal and the ultimate path. So if this is just a pure passion thing, because money is not important to everybody, go with your passion. The other thing that you do have to understand when you are evaluating a career is going to be, how am I going to support myself? The first things that you should know is, what's the average income for somebody in that career? And then what kind of experience and how fast can I grow in that? And number two is where people usually get things messed up, because they might be saying, oh wow, these nurses or this sector has a whole lot of income that you can potentially make, but the actual need for that and how hard it is to get into that industry without any experience makes it much more difficult to kind of go through that hurdle. So that's why getting a CDL license is a great option for a lot of people, simply because it's a very high paying job. It takes about $75,000 a year on average as an income. And again, that's just average. And then the other thing is there's about an 80,000 driver shortage. So which means it's very easy to get yourself a job right out of school, even if you have no experience, and no matter where you are in the country itself. So that's why it's super valuable. But say it's not your thing, no big deal. This advice will actually help you out as well. Now, that being said, when it comes to picking what's the path of actually getting myself on path for that career, I have to say, okay, what kind of credentials and what kind of process do I have to go through in order to get myself a career? A lot of the trade schools have certain licenses or certificates that you have to go with. If you want to go the college route, there's going to be certain degrees that you're going to need to do as well. Or you can just go the simple online training route as well, depending on which route that you want to go for. How do you actually decide to do this on a full-time basis? One, you're going to need a plan, because once you understand what you want and why you want it, there's many ways on how you can actually get there. I tell my team this all the time. How many ways can we go from New Jersey to California? If we know where we want to go in California and why we want to go there, we can walk, we can take a rocket ship, we can drive, we can fly, we can rollerblade, we can skateboard. There's many different mechanisms, but once you're super clear on the first piece, then the other pieces become super simple. So the first thing you want to do is kind of plan out a schedule. Where do you actually have time to go into class, and then kind of get some training done or commit yourself to some training. There's 7 days in a week, and God worked 6 days his butt off before he took the 7th day off, right? Here, we're just humans on this earth. So if God had to work 6 full days to get a day off, I think humans can deserve to work a little bit harder as well. It all depends on how bad you want it. So are you willing to make the short-term sacrifice to make sure that you get the long-term result and the long-term success that you want? That's a question that you have to make. You want to plan your schedule. The next thing you want to do is start seeing your options. So for instance, people who want to get a CDL license, the cool thing about being a student here at Driving Academy is we're open up 7 days a week, which means you can come to school on a part-time basis. There's a lot of careers out there that don't offer part-time training and they're not open weekends or nights. Here at Driving Academy, we are. So the people who have that issue make it much more difficult to make that full commitment because now they're going to have to make a hard decision. We're saying here, hey, keep your full-time job, keep paying your full-time bills, and we'll just help you out when it comes to working around your schedule when getting yourself a CDL license. The next thing you do have to do is once you actually have a plan, start communicating with your boss. Maybe there's something that you can actually do where, hey, so you can leave earlier, so you can go to the school that you want to go to as an example. Maybe you can pick up extra shifts on a different day where the school is not offering something, and you can work around your schedule. So if you're, for instance, working as an Uber driver, super simple. You don't have a boss, you get to make your own schedule. If you're working like in a restaurant or as a waiter or a bartender, you can kind of go around the needs of the actual company itself so you can actually find a school that can fit your needs. So you know what you want to do, you kind of got a schedule and plan, and you talk to your boss so you kind of work things out. You're stacking the deck in your favor. The other thing you have to keep in mind, which is this reality, when you're learning a new skill set, you have to immerse yourself as much as possible. The faster you immerse yourself, the faster you're going to pick up on the skill and the faster you can benefit from it. One of the downsides is going to school on a part-time basis. Say you only go in 1 to 2 days a week. By the time you're finished with that week's worth of training and then you come back the week after, you pretty much lost a lot of the stuff you just learned in the last week because a lot of the things that you have to make sure you master is going to be through repetition. So you want to be able to immerse yourself outside of school while you're doing it. So watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts on the subject. And one of the benefits is if you find a school that actually has training online with training in person as well, it's going to be the best of both worlds. Because yes, you can now go train online anytime that you want. And when you're actually physically in the classroom practicing the skill set, you can actually have the theory piece already out of the way and you're not going to lose as much momentum as you would otherwise. The next thing that you do have to focus on is going to be staying consistent. If you just stay consistent, if it's 2 days a week, understand that it's going to be 2 days a week and there's going to be some sacrifices that you have to make. There's going to be some parties you can't go to. There's going to be some celebrations you might have to miss, but understand, do the things people are not willing to do in the short term so you can do the things people only wish they could do in the long term. The people who are able to delay instant gratification the most are the people who win at life the biggest, right? Keep that in mind. And then once you're actually staying consistent, just focus on the essentials. Understand that, hey, not everything's going to be perfect. You can't compare yourself to other people, especially you can't compare yourself to people who are doing this thing on a full-time basis, and just stay in your lane and stay focused on the process. A lot of times what winds up taking people out is going to be, hey, there's a distraction that happened in life, or I'm trying to compare myself to Sally or Jimmy in the actual classroom, and they're getting it so much better and I'm taking so much longer, but you don't understand. Everyone has different commitments. Everyone has a different learning style, and just stay focused, right? So if you take all that advice, you should be able to change your career even if you are working on a full-time basis, and the career that you choose should bring you to the whole next level so you can actually find out another way of living at a whole new level of life. If getting a CDL license is something that you are interested in, check out our website. Find a location near you, cdldrivingacademy.com, and have a fantastic day. Thanks.